What's happening, troopers? It is Will from the 501st Com Chatter here. And as you can tell, I am joined by another wonderful host.
Hello.
Chloe
I'm
is back. Chloe is back. Welcome back, Chloe. It's nice to have you back.
Good to be here.
So if you're listening now, we hope you enjoy this episode. We will be discussing the Mandalorian finale. We will also be discussing some of our celebration moments. I've spoken to someone who was there, another person. And I've got his experience. So I said I'd give him a shout out on the episode. So that's all coming up now. Where do you want to start?
Should we start with the episode on Mando?
Episode it is.
What's your thoughts?
Okay. I thought it was very good. I thought it was a very good episode. The action was very good. I loved the whole little corridor scenes with with Din and the Imperial troopers.
Yep.
What are we going to call these guys, by the way? Are we calling them Imperials? Are we calling them Imperial Mandalorians? Are we calling them Mandalorians? What are we calling these guys?
I would say like Imperial Mandalorians. But also when you were saying about the hallway, it makes me think of like the Phantom Menace with all like the red things. And then like gradually one goes and then they get a bit closer. But, yeah.
I thought that was a very cool scene. I thought that was a really cool little like transition. There's like stage by stage instead of being like, okay, I'm just going to run in and take them all on. It's like, I'm going to take them in two at a time.
Yeah.
A little bit more manageable.
You knew he couldn't take them all on at once.
No, he'd probably get absolutely slaughtered, and then everyone would be like, what are we doing now?
Yep. I love how helpful R5 is as well in this episode.
Yes, that's a really good point. It's nice to see that R5 is finally getting some love for a change. Everyone has sort of been, what's the word?
He's not just a droid with a bad motivator.
That's true. That's true. I like how they've basically made his story from the like comic where he's actually a part of the rebellion. Like they've made it canon, like he was part of the rebellion. He blew his motivator on purpose, stuff like that. I really like to see that he's back and he's doing all right. So yeah, shout out to R5 for the episode as well.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any moments in this episode that you were a bit like, I'm not too sure on this, or I'm not a big fan?
I think you already know what I'm going to say. I think you do. The Darksaber. We have to talk about the Darksaber. I know I'm jumping like kind of towards the end of the episode, but
it's a big moment. It's a big moment.
Because this has been a saber that's been in Star Wars ever since the Clone Wars. It's been through so many battles. It's been with Maul, all the Vizslas and that, and then Moff Gideon just crushes it. Also, we need to talk about Moff Gideon's armor as well, but
yeah, we'll get on to Moff Gideon's armor in a minute. But going back to that Darksaber.
Time for the Darksaber.
Bit of Darksaber. Rest in peace, Darksaber.
Yep. I had hope the armor would fix it. But I think it's a bit past the point of fixing.
I don't think it's being fixed, I'm afraid. I thought, in a way, we don't really, you're not gonna like this, but it's like we don't really need the Darksaber anymore. It's lived its purpose. It's become more of a bit of a distraction in terms of the show of like, oh, who wields it, who rightfully is in charge of Mandalore and all that. So I feel like it's good that it's gone, but then again, it's like it was such an iconic lightsaber. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
we the saber.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought it was. I really enjoyed the battle as well between Moff and Bo. I thought that was really good. And it was quite interesting and nice for a change for me to see the bad guy win.
Yeah.
Because you see it and you're just like, oh, Bo's gonna beat him. Bo's gonna absolutely destroy him. But no, it was like, oh, okay, well, this is a bit of a change.
I was so rooting for Bo though. I'm like, get him! She's got the Darksaber. Because, like, when he was battling Din, I was just like, no. And then, like, obviously, Grogu got taken as well, and he couldn't save him, and yeah, it was very intense. I was shouting at the TV.
I can imagine. Now, for me, something that I'm gonna say for me was a negative for the episode, in my opinion. Now, this is probably me just being a bit picky, but do you remember like a couple of episodes ago when the foundling was taken by that dragon and that?
Yeah.
In that episode, they made a very strong point and clear on how these jetpacks are not infinite.
Yeah.
We see Axe Wolf fly out of a cave and just kept flying up until he got to like the fleet, like in the upper or the lower atmosphere. And I just kept looking at it being like, okay,
when's it gonna run out of fuel?
When's it gonna run out? Why is this guy not like it wasn't even stuttering? It was just like, okay, this thing is infinite. He got on the ship, then everyone else has sort of flown off. Fair enough, pretty cool. But yeah, for me, that whole scene, it was like, I'm not sure about that. But then again, you know, he even had enough afterwards to fly off out of the ship when it was coming down. So, but then again, I think that's just me being picky. The fact that they made a whole point about that these jetpacks can run out of fuel in an episode, and then it's just like, oh, okay, we've forgotten about that.
That's true.
That's just
no,
me.
Valid point.
No, it's me being picky. That's what it is. But yeah, no, I loved the episode. Thought it was very good.
Can I tell you my favorite thing about the episode?
Favorite? Okay, let's say your favorite thing.
The bit where obviously Grogu's in the IG-11 droid, or now IG-12. I don't know what we're calling it. And he obviously sees Din just being battered by these Imperials, and then he just stands there and goes, no. No. On the idea.
No.
I found that so cute and like so funny.
I did see a review and someone thought it was very cute how when he is rescued, when Din is rescued by Grogu uses the like healing spray from like the IG-11, but because Din's not injured and he's not got like his helmet off, or he's not on an actual wound, he's just like spraying him with it, just being like, ah.
He's like, I think you should have this. I don't know how to use it, but bless him.
But yeah, no, I thought that was really cute. Another thing that or I'd probably say my favorite bit of the episode was I really liked seeing the Moff Gideon's armor. Like,
Yeah.
I know you just mentioned it, but I felt it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was like Dark Trooper mixed with Beskar, mixed with like almost like Sith Lord, almost with like the black and the sort of cape and the helmet. You know, it mixed in all these different elements. I thought it looked cool. Are we going to get a figure of it? 100%. Are we going to get a Funko of it? 100%. Will I get these? 50%. not sure yet. But yeah, no, that was cool.
It's definitely a mixture of a lot, that outfit, because like his helmet has like these little horn things that the mole troopers had on Mandalore. And also, yeah, like you say, it's very much like the Dark Troopers, not necessarily in terms of color, even though it is the same, but it also sounds very robotic as well. Like he has some kind of robot.
He's definitely, because clearly there's bits in it in the fight with Din where he like stops a punch, and it's very like he's got like some sort of hydraulic things or stuff in the.
And for him to be able to crush the Darksaber, which was made from Beskar, you couldn't do that with your own hand, you know.
True. Like, yeah, there's clearly like, something to it.
It's almost like an upgrade from Din's armor. And you're like, no, but we liked Din. We thought he was like modern.
Yep.
But no.
I did have a little panic when I can't remember their name, Praetorian guards.
The red people with the
red guard. I can't remember. Yeah. I think it's like Praetorian or Praetorian guards. Anyway, when they like sort of got Grogu away,
yeah,
and they like slashed IG-11, and it went down. I was like, oh my god!
I know, like, it was all going on at once. Although that's how finales are, isn't it?
One thing that I will say, another thing that I liked, that it's not so much something from the episode, but it's more like the way sort of Disney and Lucas films handled it. You know, everyone was saying after the last episode, Axe Wolf is a spy, the armorer is a spy, the refugees on the planet are a spy, and it was literally like, well, none of them are spies.
No.
We've just basically got you thinking that way. And yeah, very cool. I thought the episode, it felt like longer than it was. Yeah. I think it was the actual episode itself was probably only 37, 38 minutes, I think. But it felt longer because you just got lost in the battle, in the whole drama of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think out of 10 already. I know we're going like out of 10. In terms of finale, probably going to give it like an 8.5.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
8.5, maybe just under, maybe like 8.5.
Yeah,
because it's like it wasn't perfect. Do I think it topped the return of Luke and the hallway scene? I'm not sure. That for me, that scene was just incredible. I loved it. That was amazing. But yeah, still a very good episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
it. I think another reason why I haven't given it like 9 or 10 or that, because a couple things. One, the whole Axe Wolf with the jetpack, that bugged me. That genuinely bugged me. But then there was the Darksaber getting destroyed. That's for you. That's why it's not.
Yep.
But then I think another thing was the way it ended. I was expecting more. Like, I watched the episode and I watched the like concept art credits and I watched the full credits because I genuinely felt like,
There'd be a post.
okay, they're going to show something to where this is going. You know, it's like, I don't think ending the episode with like, especially with what's happened in this season, Grogu using the Force with the frog and Din just sort of chilling out in the background. I was a bit like, I need to find out what's going on. Like, are we going to get a tease of Thrawn? Is somehow Moff Gideon survived again? You know, is there going to be these things? Like, we need to see this. And there just wasn't. So that was a little bit like, oh, okay. Like, because now that we've got Ahsoka coming up, like, and we know that these series are connected and going to lead to the Dave Filoni film, do we watch Ahsoka and they're going to be like, oh, this happened in the Mandalorian?
Do you know what I thought? Do you know when Din went off in the starfighter to that other planet and there was like that bar? And by the way, Dave Filoni was the one in the hat.
He was Trapper Wolf himself.
But also, I thought there was going to be like Zeb or someone there, that we'd know, and then that would kind of lead on to Ahsoka, but that didn't happen.
The only other way I could look at it is if they do what they did with Book of Boba Fett, and you have like a Mandalorian episode within the Ahsoka. I don't think they're going to do that because everyone will be like, well, we don't need to fill in the gaps of Din and Grogu coming back together. We don't really need that episode. But I feel like there's got to be something, I think, for them to explain, like, oh, okay, because now the Mandalorians are now, again, another power within the galaxy. And that is going to have to somehow not be a thing by the time the First Order comes around. But yeah, that's another show. And I think, is it August? Ahsoka? I might be wrong.
Oh, yes. Okay. I also heard, I don't know if this is just a rumor, but I heard that Mando season 4 may be starting filming in October.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's just a rumor, so don't quote me on it.
Well, I'm quoting you on that one.
Also, another thing about the episode, can I just say?
Yeah.
So the bit where like there was all the fire, and then Grogu was like using his Force. That was so cute as well, and also like kind of goes back to season 1 because he did that with like the incinerator trooper came in with the fire, and he used the Force then. And I just think like going back to the previous seasons and stuff, like Grogu used a bit of the Force and then has to take a nap, but this episode he used the Force a lot. And I'm just thinking like he's getting stronger with the Force, like I'm guessing because of his time with Luke and stuff like that, he's remembering more, and I don't know, getting stronger because he's getting a bit older, I suppose.
Yeah, he's obviously he's becoming more with his ability and more with his powers.
More powerful.
Yeah. But for me, now, will I do an edit on this? Absolutely, because I have to. But for me, that whole scene where he's holding the fire. Now, before he did hold it, and you see sort of Bo and Din sort of cover.
Can't get the shield on him.
I have to admit, and I saw the explosion come out of the like hole, like the fire. I did go, there's no way they're gonna be fine with that. There's no way that they're just gonna cover. I was like, no. And then I was like, oh, he's using the Force. Oh, okay. It's fine. But for me, that whole scene was just brought back memories of Kanan in that Rebel. It was season 4
I
when
didn't
he's
think
holding
of
the
that.
fire, and I was just like, oh,
I
I'm
didn't think of that.
getting
Yeah, you're
emotional.
right. Yeah,
But,
you're
but
right.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna do like an edit of that before, of like that. But yeah,
So
I
the thing is, we never seen Moff Gideon after that. But being that he had armor on, do we think he's still alive, or could he be, like heavily injured?
see. This is what I kind of was hoping.
I don't
for,
want him to come back, but he might.
See,
Being that
this is
he
why
had
I
this
kind of.
Beskar.
That's why I was like watching for a credit thing, because I felt like the whole Shadow Council thing has just gone quiet. Moff's clones are clearly dead. Moff himself should be dead by now. I don't want him to return as a villain. I mean, when I was saying to people about what do I want for season 3, I was saying I don't want Moff Gideon to be the bad guy for season 3 again. I feel like we've had him for 1, 2. I don't think he should be the villain, but he ended up being quite a good one for this finale. So
there was that other girl that was the villain as well, like G68, was it?
Yeah,
name? I can't remember her name.
Keen, I think her name was. I feel like.
But we didn't see her at all this episode. I don't
No,
remember.
and I feel like that was a good thing as well. Like we didn't have to see her. But yeah, no, definitely. I'm definitely sure he's not coming back.
Yeah, I hope he isn't either.
Yeah, I don't want him. I don't want him coming back because
General Kenobi. Someone said hello there in the chat.
Yeah, Ruben has said, well, hello there.
Hello, Ruben.
But yes, so yeah, it was good, but there's so much more that needs to happen. I feel like.
But I think it was a really good episode, and like certain bits, like with the with R5 and stuff, like it felt like Star Wars, like the original, when they're like when R2 and C3PO are like by the panel trying to get the garbage chute to open and all that. But also with that R5 scene where he's by the thing, there's like the mouse droids, and we never really get to see much of the mouse droids. Like they're just always there, like woo. But this time we actually seen them, and they had like the lights on them to signal that this droid shouldn't be here. And I'm like, we've never properly seen like mouse droids like that before, as far as I'm aware.
I don't think I've ever seen that many mouse droids in one movie.
No, no one thinks.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but when R5 like took off,
yeah,
2 of them reversed off the cliff or like off the bank. 2 of them went.
That.
Yeah, that was quite funny. So there was like they all sort of backed up, and 2 of them, if you watch quickly, like go off the edge. And I got to give him a shout out because he makes a very valid point. When Ryan Airy from Screen Crush mentioned it in his breakdown of the episode, he said just another couple of unnecessary deaths in Imperial facilities due to no handrails.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I was like, yeah.
They really need some handrails in that place.
That's very true. Another thing for me that I absolutely loved in the episode, I can't remember his name, but the guy who originally designed the TIE interceptors, he said he designed them like he designed them off like bats. And the fact that they were hanging, the TIE interceptors were hanging upside down like bats to then shoot off, I thought was very cool. I loved seeing the TIE interceptors anyway. I thought they looked really good. I was a little bit nervous and a little bit unsure of the whole you come down, and then you're like, you get ready, you literally like turn and go. But yeah, no, really good. Another little point I gotta make.
Yeah.
Now, I totally understand the whole thing of we're going to use the light cruiser as a sort of a decoy shuttle. I get that, but the fact that all these gauntlet ships and all that have just disappeared into the like clouds, and none of the Imperial ships have seen these gauntlet ships like as they've come through or crashed into them.
Yep.
It's a bit like, I'm pretty sure you would have seen one maybe and been like, okay, but no, they didn't see any of them at all. So a bit like, okay.
It's there.
But yeah, no, a good episode. How do
I
you
quite like how Din has his own little team now. Like, obviously, Grogu is like his son now. Another thing, the armorer said Din Grogu, and I'm like, but Din is the Mandalorian's first name, so surely it should be Grogu Jaren if it's his son. So that kind of annoyed
yeah,
me
that
a
is a
bit.
little
'Cause
bit
I'm like,
confusing.
now you got Din and Din.
Yeah, but it's like, I think it's almost like clan. So
Yeah.
like
But
Clan
surely it should be
Vizsla.
Clan Jaren, because you wouldn't say Clan Bo, would you? It's Clan Kreese. Clan Vizsla. Like Paz
True.
Vizsla. So, I don't...
I don't know how it works, but he is now Din Grogu.
Din Grogu. I feel like it should be Grogu Jaren, but that's me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I like how he's got his little clans. He's got Grogu, who's like the Force user. Obviously, he's a Mandalorian. He's got all the tools, the wisdom birds and the flamethrowers and that. And then he's got R5 to like deal with the technical side. Like, it's really cool.
I like that.
I love that.
I think as well, when you look at the combat, it's like these Imperial Mandalorians are troopers in Beskar, but where Din has grown up all his life fighting close quarter Mandalorians, that's why he was able to beat them so well, in my opinion, because they weren't taught how to fight like hand to hand and
That's
aim
true.
for the weak points. So for me, I've got to say that was another big, like, it's really cool because you look at his combat and his fighting and the way that he basically dominated all these troopers, different class.
He knows what he's doing.
Another thing I noticed, one of the troopers that he beats, he kicks into the little gap. So you know where the red gates are, like the red electric. Where they're stood, there's a little gap between the end bits, and he kicks one down in this little gap. Handrails, guys.
Yep.
Stop leaving massive holes everywhere.
You gotta look where you're walking.
Yeah, let's get some proper planners in for the Empire.
Think we need to.
Where would you put this in terms of episode of the season, like ranking? Would you put it like best episode? Would you say it was like the worst episode of the season? So if you think back through like all of the series, where would you put this one? I think
it'd be my best.
Probably the best.
Yeah, probably. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked the one with where like Lizzo and Jack Black were in it because I liked the scene where they were chasing the clanker, and it was all like night and they had like the neon lights and stuff. It was very like Coruscant kind of vibes, so that was quite cool. But this one was definitely better. Yeah, I really liked how Grogu had the no thing whenever his dad was in trouble. Just loved it. And yeah, like all the action scenes and stuff were really good. There was quite a lot going on. But yeah, I feel like before starting this season, I didn't like Bo-Katan that much, but now she's like one of the best Mandalorians because, according to me, because like I was really like rooting for her in this episode because I'm just like, wow, she knows how to use that dark saber, and you know,
how she knew how to use it, not anymore.
yeah. I know, and now she's lost it. All that time she was chasing Gideon in episode 2. No, season 2, I mean. Sorry. Season 2. She was chasing Moff Gideon the whole time, being like, I want to get my dark saber back. And
she gets it back.
Then he just breaks it in front of her.
Shocking.
And she's just like, no. Sorry, I've gone about the darksaber too much this episode.
So Ruben says, I'd put it at second best of the season. Interesting. I'd probably say something similar, I reckon.
What would be your best?
I'd probably say it's like up there. But for me, the whole episode with it was like two different stories, but the one with like the foundling getting taken and Grogu doing the Order 66 flashback.
Oh yeah.
For me,
I forgot about that one.
But because of the reason why I love that episode so much is because of that Order 66 flashback. Yeah. Because it's been a long time since I've had an episode where I've literally been like so lost in the story, and I've noticed something, and I've genuinely been said out loud, like, oh my god. Like, I know it's something simple. When I saw the Coruscant Guard, like shock troopers, in live action for the first time, I genuinely, like when they came off the LAT, I was like, oh my god. I genuinely said that out loud. And for a moment like that to hit you, you're just like, wow, okay. But yeah, that whole scene, seeing Ahmed Best back, just like, I love it. So I definitely put it like up there with it. So yeah, there's a lot of good things. A lot of
we love the clones. We need more live action clones. It's not enough. Even in Andor, you just blink, you miss them. True. We need more clones.
Yeah, I think that now makes live action regular clones, Coruscant Guard, and 501st. Yes. Which we love on this podcast. But yeah, no, this whole series, yeah, I'd say it's been good. I feel like there's probably been like 2 episodes where they've been all right. I haven't really fully loved them. The sort of Andor-ish episode where it just followed Kershing, really. That one sort of was a bit like, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
The
one with where the foundling got taken away, and then there was like those 2 massive like dragon bird things on Bo-Katan's ship, which we've not actually seen since that episode.
A lot of people have said that they would feast at the banquet.
Oh.
But I don't know about that. They look a little bit different to the thing. But yeah, and I'd probably say the one with Jack Black and this one, it was It was okay. It was alright.
But
It
the
had some
Clanker
cool
scene was
moments.
good.
I know, and it had
Have you
some cool
seen-
moments.
I've
Like
seen the battle droid.
seeing like the B2 battle droids and seeing the like live action B1 battle droids as well.
Yeah.
And having the same voice as you get from the Clone Wars. I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool. But yeah,
But yeah,
no,
the
I
rest
just
of the episode, maybe not. It's not.
just a bit like
I think with that particular episode, a lot of the cameos kind of take you away from the story because you're like, oh my god, that's Lizzo. Oh my god, that's Jack Black. Oh my god, that's what's his name, Christopher Lloyd from That's the Future, and you're just like, oh my god, they're in Star Wars, and it almost takes you a bit away from the story. Whereas if it was just someone random, I don't know. Like, it's cool to see them, and I'm like, wow, they must be doing well for being in Star Wars. Like, who wouldn't want to be in Star Wars? But yeah,
that's
like,
very true.
yeah.
Yeah, Dan has put, I would give this whole season 6 out of 10. It's interesting. What would you give it out of 10? The whole season.
Whole season. I don't think it was as good as season 2, but it's still part of the story, isn't it? Maybe like 7.5 or something out of 10.
That's not bad. I think I'd give it about the same.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you exactly, but
'Cause, again, I didn't like that episode with Dr. Pershing. But yeah, the rest of it's not been too bad for me.
So Dan has revealed himself as Vaughn UK. Now he's actually my trooper of the week. This is good timing. So I will get to you in a bit, my friend. But yes, it is a pleasure to welcome you to the podcast.
Welcome.
Vaughn UK was someone we've been having a chat with today, talking about celebration, and I'm going to talk about his experiences. Now, do you think we need a season 4, or do we just go to the Filoni movie? What do we do?
I would want a season 4 because I can't live without Grogu. I just love Mando and Grogu's like adventures together. Like, I never want them to stop making them, but you know, obviously some episodes are better than others, and I love what we've got so far. So yeah, I would want a season 4.
I did see a rumor. Again, it's just speculation, rumor, stuff like that. The season 4 of The Mandalorian is basically going to be Rangers of the New Republic, because that was obviously going to be a project by itself, and then that got basically cancelled. We still don't really know what's happening with it, but apparently that's going to become season 4 of Mando is going to basically be like Din, Grogu, maybe Carson, you know, the whole sort of, it's going to focus on like the New Republic sort of Rangers, if you were, which would be quite cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want the Mandalorian story to be that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what we get.
I also, this is just a rumor, but I heard they might be trying to get Gina Carano back to play Cara Dune. But it's just a rumor, so I don't know if she will come back, but you know.
Would you have her back?
I mean, I didn't really like them getting rid of her because I think they made her quite a big part to season 2. Like, they made her quite a big character. So I don't think it would be a bad idea of getting her back. But then they...
Even with her, like, personal comments and stuff that she
I know. That's the only thing. You know. Yeah.
That's
I
fair
don't
enough.
know. I like the character, but at the same time, she is quite. I don't know. She's quite like a strong character and stuff, and I feel like part of them maybe wanted Din to be like, the strong one. But also like she was a really helpful character as Cara Dune, like helping get Grogu back and all that. And I feel like in the season 2 finale with Luke and that, I feel like she made quite a good team with Fennec and Bo-Katan and stuff. So yeah, that's why I like her character. But Adam
Well,
Long,
maybe she'll come back.
maybe
we don't know.
We don't know yet.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would like. I think I brought it up a couple of episodes ago. I would like to see them do Rangers of the New Republic, but I would like to see them do it with like Carson Teva, the guy that has become the Republic pilot who's become friends with.
Oh yeah.
With Mando.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it like him be the
He
lead.
needs to be in it. Yeah.
I feel like if they had him as a lead and maybe brought in Zeb as well, and it was like these two, I feel like you could really get that show. Like the popularity behind it would be there because they're both characters that I feel like people, especially Zeb, everyone knows Zeb from Rebels and one of the most favorite characters from that series. But yeah, no, Carson Teva for me has become a bit of a favorite. I quite like him. I think he's cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like he could definitely hold his own as like a show protagonist.
Yeah. Because I think he's definitely helped out a lot, like with regards to with High Magistrate Karga when those pirates were there and stuff. Without that New Republic guy, they would have been in trouble, And he's the one that made something happen. He's the one that went to the Mandalorians and stuff. And I think he has a kind of respect for Din. Like, even though, Din's done some bad things, he knows that Din is a good guy. He's done a lot of good things. And there's a form of respect there, isn't there? And yeah, I really like his character. And yeah, like even with the whole starfighter flying through space and stuff, and then they kind of stopped him because he was speeding, and then he's just like, oh, I think we can let this one go. He's just like he's an officer, but he's been a very respectful one. He knows what's right and wrong, and yeah, I think he would be a good main character, or just someone main in the Republic show.
Yeah. Well, if they bring him back, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I don't want them to get rid of him.
No. I think that pretty much covers it for Mandalorian. I mean, obviously now everyone's getting ready for the next one, being Ahsoka in August. Obviously, we've had the trailer for it now. We know Thrawn's back. We know Lars Mikkelsen's back as Thrawn. Cannot wait, by the way. Perfect casting.
Yeah, that's another thing. I thought we were going to see a snippet of Thrawn, but not yet. They're waiting for Ahsoka.
You did in the panel. Apparently, in the Ahsoka panel, they did show an extended trailer, and they actually showed Thrawn's face from the front of it.
Oh.
So, yeah. Now, one thing I will say about Thrawn coming back. Now, to any of you who don't know, I think you guys would probably know already, but I spent the day at Celebration on the Saturday with Chloe. We spent Celebration. It was so much fun. And we were at the live stage. We were waiting for Hayden. But it wasn't Hayden. It ended up being Catherine Kennedy and Dave Filoni and John Favreau, which at the end of the day, good people anyway. But yeah, so we were there, and the Ahsoka trailer came up on the screen. And I said to Chloe, I was like, looking at the back of the head and the sort of shoulders with Thrawn's walk, I said, this very easily could be Sam Witwer. And it was like, I reckon this could be Sam Witwer. And then just as I'd said that, on the screen where people were putting like their tweets for the Star Wars Celebration Day, someone put, "Can't wait to see Lars Mikkelsen back as Thrawn," just announced. And I was like, oh, well, there we go. It's not Sam Witwer. It's Lars.
There goes that theory.
I was like, yes, it's Lars. But yeah, so that was quite a funny one.
But I do think we need to see Sam Witwer, sir.
Yes, definitely. We definitely see him at some point. Daniel's put, I'm going to be lost on Wednesdays about Star Wars now. Join the club. What am I going to do now? Just make Star Wars Wednesdays like...
We got to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Scratch season 1.
Yeah, just watch each day a different episode. Even though you know what's coming, like...
Yeah, it's not right the same.
No, we haven't got Bad Batch, we haven't got Mando. Have they revealed what days Ahsoka is going to be on? I don't think so.
I think they've just said August.
But I think it's going to be sort of same format of like a Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
Because I think Kenobi was on the Thursday. Or was it Andor on the Thursday?
I thought it was always Wednesday, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Someone will know.
But yeah, so that was that. I'm gonna miss it, but
yeah.
What's the date? 20th.
But we're excited for more things to come.
Exactly. Like in 8 days' time, Jedi Survivor comes out.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna be very busy. I'm gonna be playing that game. I'm probably gonna have some certain people be messaging me saying, "Why are you not talking to me? Are you mad with me? Are you unhappy? Are you upset?" Like,
I'm just playing Jedi Survivor.
I'm just playing Jedi Survivor. Nothing's wrong.
No.
But yeah, so let's talk about Celebration. I know I talked about it with Emily last week, but I wanted to get some different people's opinions and views on what they experienced and what they did. So obviously you can start with you, Chloe, because you were there only on the Saturday.
Yes.
But how did you find your experience? Even though it was one day, how did you find it?
Well, I think I should have booked more days because I feel like it was just over within a blink of an eye because there's so much going on and there's so much you're doing and you just feel like you can't see it all on the same day. So yeah, I left there feeling a bit sad that I couldn't go back there the next day or anything. But yeah, the experience was really good and I'm really sad that it won't be back for probably quite a lot of years back to England, but yeah, I would 100% go again as soon as it's back.
So that
it was my first ever con, so it's quite a big one to start with.
It's a big one. I started in London last year and I thought that was impressive when I went in there and I saw all the different cosplays. Even not just like Star Wars, but I saw like all these different cosplays. I saw all these actors sat there and stuff. And I was like, this is cool. But the fact your first one was Celebration that's pretty special.
Yeah. So that's cool. So I feel like I'm going to get the con bug now and just go to all the cons.
I think I'm with you with that one. Now... So you did mention that next time it comes here, you're gonna try and go again. So does that mean that you're ruling out going to Japan in 2 years?
Yeah. I think Japan is a little bit too far. But, if it's in Europe or possibly some places in America, I'd probably look at going. But Japan, I think I might miss that one.
I think
Although it is really hard because it's the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. And
20 years of that, and you know that's going to be incredible.
Yeah. So...
yeah, there's lots of people that I've spoken to or, heard from or seen them be like, I am probably not going to be there for 2025. I mean, I'd like to be there, and there's still a little bit of part of me that's like, do it. Do it. Go spend the money. But then I was like, no, I'm gonna save it, because then I feel like the money I'm gonna save by not going to Japan, I'm gonna save on going to, when it's back in America or in Europe. But me personally, I feel like the next one is going to be in America after Japan, because to your American listeners, there's no way Star Wars is going 3 celebrations like in a row outside the US. It's not happening.
I think also, like, because of like Florida and Anaheim have the Disney parks, which obviously have Galaxy's Edge and stuff. I think they like to keep the event near there because it tends to get quite popular because people obviously go into the parks and they're like, oh, let's go to Celebration as well. And also, I think last year when it was in California, they did something at the Disney park as well. I think there was like screen use props and stuff. So yeah. So yeah, I think maybe that's why.
Well, Dan has put, I love going to European cons. They are so different to the British scene and more relaxed in the US. Now, I've only been to, well, if you class in this one, I've only been to 3. I went to the London Comic Con, like main one, so Showmaster one, July last year. I went to the London Comic Con winter one in like November.
Yeah.
Then I've been to Celebration. I'm looking at going to the London Comic Con again in the summer on like the Sunday. I'm also looking at going to the London one in the winter because Palpatine's there. Kind of want to meet him,
I think that.
But yeah, there's so many that I want to do, and I feel like I definitely want to try one of these European ones, because I think it was last year. It was like London. It was like the Berlin Comic Con or something, like the one in Germany, and literally like everyone, like all big stars at the minute, were all there. You had Hayden, I think, was there. I think you had like all of the like Stranger Things cast.
Oh, okay.
You had like some like Rupert Grint from like Harry Potter. I think there was lots of big names that go to this one, so that might be something to look at for the future. Maybe. But yeah, so going back to Celebration.
Yes.
What was your highlight?
I think seeing the famous people on the stage, like when Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau came out, I was just like, it's weird because you're looking at the screen, because even though we got there quite early, it got very busy very quick because everyone was expecting Hayden. So we were quite far from the stage, and I'm only 5 foot tall and I could barely see them. But you're looking at the screen, and in your head, you're just thinking, oh, wow, that's Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. But when you look below the screen, they're actually there, and you're like, this is surreal to me. Like, I'm looking at that as if I'm like at home and then they're there, and you're just like, I watch these guys on TV, or I watch the stuff that they make, and it's like they're there. It's crazy.
They're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me that was also a highlight. Obviously, I got to meet people. That was also highlights. But for me, just listening to Dave especially talk about how much of a fan he was, and the fact that he got like emotional and was like, if I wasn't up here, I would be in there with you guys, you know. And that just really like made me oh.
And like he took off his hat, and you know, he just, I think a lot of it is he's looking around and there's all these cosplayers cosplaying Ahsoka or Hera or whoever, and it's like, I've created these characters, and you know, here's all these people dressing up as them, and I think part of that probably makes him a bit emotional as well. But yeah, like we all look up to him like, oh, you've made all these amazing shows or whatever, but in his mind, he's just like, I'm all like you guys. I'm nothing special. It's just the fact I make them, you know. But yeah, that was cute.
But it's the fact that he's made them, and now we are in love with them. Like,
yeah,
we love these characters.
We need more of your shows.
But yeah, no, I'm very glad to hear that he's been given his own like film as well. Like, I feel like for what he's bringing together for his film, there's no one more suited, in my opinion, for it. Just quickly, speaking of films as well, next Friday, Return of the Jedi, back in the cinema. Will I be going? I will try. I want to go. I want to see it in cinema, even though I have seen it in concert with like a live orchestra. I still want to see it in the cinema and be like, yeah, I got to see it. Because I just love that poster. Now, I know I was going on to you about this poster, like, but this poster is like, I want to get it put right here on my wall.
It is a good poster.
It's a very good poster. So going on to Daniel here. He's my Trooper of the Week, but I'll give him a proper shout out when I do Trooper of the Week. But going on to what he was telling me earlier about his sort of experience and highlight, he was saying that just being in his like Captain Vaughn cosplay and like the smiles that he was having under the helmet, just getting loads of pictures with people, was just like making his day, you know. And that's what I like to hear. I like to hear that, you know, all these people that you're getting photos with and you're getting selfies with and stuff like this. It's just so it's making these people happy. And yeah, I think we have a new friend of the podcast in Daniel. So yeah, shout out to him. But I'll give you a proper shout out in a bit now. Now, I know I said I would, and I have a couple of photos to share today. Because now that we have learned how to screen share on the podcast, we can show off our wonderful pictures. So who's ready to see some pictures?
I'll see some pictures.
Okay. So we're going to start us off with... This is my signed photo I got from D. Bradley Baker. It was, you know, obviously he's put it to me, signed it, Rex and Cody as well, which I loved. Like I said, I was telling Emily last episode, I was really gutted that this was the only available young Rex picture I'm personally a Rex fan. They had like 3 Rebel Rexes. It's just like, I wish there was a little bit more better selection, but I can't fault D. Bradley Baker at all. I love this guy. I think he's a legend. Would I meet him again? Yes. Absolutely. He is the goat of clones. Love this guy. So yeah, that's my signed D. Bradley Baker picture. Now for me, I loved seeing this when I walked into Celebration. The reason why this is in my selected photos to show off is because I never thought I would see a life size, like full size ATST in my life. And that was like the first thing that I saw when I got into Celebration. I saw all these different cosplays and outfits, and I walked into like the live stage bit, and the first thing I saw was this. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. I love it. Now, like I was pointing out to you earlier, I didn't realize this at the time. There's a Grogu in a stroller. I personally didn't see this, and I was stood there at some point over the weekend, like just rested and chilling out. I didn't see that there. I must be blind, but if you saw it, then let me know and show me a photo of you with it, because I think it's been photoshopped into my photo somehow.
Into your photos.
Into my photo. Someone has photoshopped it. But yeah, this was just so cool. I loved seeing this. This is just, yeah. One of my favorite pictures. Dave Filoni on the screen. It was just nice being here, getting a good view, seeing him. He's a legend. Do I want to meet this guy? Absolutely. I know I've got so many photos to go through that I could show off, but I wanted to show off that he was there. Same with these two, just being there in their presence and just listening to them, because yeah, just so cool. Yeah, John. Now, this guy I've got to give a shout out to. Now, I'm not an overly confident guy when it comes to meeting people for like pictures and that, but
he looks so cool.
I'm a Reverend fan. I'm a big Reverend fan. I got a Funko. Like, this guy, I was going to be cosplaying as him until I decided I was going to save money and spend it on people. But yeah, I just wanted to be Reverend, and yeah, such a cool guy. Now, this was a fun photo, in my opinion. This was in the little helmet shop, wasn't it?
Yes. So that's me. As Padme.
This is Chloe in her Padme. And as you can see, I have a 501st helmet on.
Yay!
I was like, I am going to be trying that on. I'm going to be putting that on because this is the 501st Com Chatter. This is the helmet we're going to be wearing. But yeah, that was just a fun, just a fun day. Fun day. Got to give a shout out. I don't know if she's watching or listening, but this is me and Chloe meeting Emily in her clone armor and her partner Terry. Both wonderful people. Can't wait to do more with these guys. And, we'll definitely meet these two again at some point because they're just so cool. They're just cool people.
I must meet you again. I feel bad I didn't say much, but you seemed lovely.
But yeah, so yeah, these two were just awesome in my opinion.
And their cosplay was really cool.
Now, I just thought this photo was just amazing. This is obviously when I got into the celebration stage. And
all those sabers.
They literally brought everyone in with lightsabers up to the stage to do a photo. And it was just cool. It was just nice. Just one of my just a big picture of fans being together. You know what I mean? Just yeah, love it.
This is what Star Wars is about.
Exactly. Like all these
fans.
people got into a panel to then be called up onto stage to then have a nice photo. Like that's so cool. And look at all the people as well, like in the front, like taking pictures of these people. Like, yeah. Yeah, this is from the sequels of the villains of the sequel trilogy. Again, really glad I got to see this. These guys were incredible. They were interesting to listen to, talk about how they became their characters, what did they channel when they were performing. Just a really good thing, and just being like proud to say that I was there when they did that. Now, this is, I know a lot of people are like, why have you got this one? But I quite like Rebels. I know it's not everyone's favorite. I know some people are like, but I quite like it. And seeing this in person for me was like, this is really, really something.
It did look really cool.
Yeah, I didn't think I would see this in like real life, you know, when you watch an animated show. But here it is. Like,
I must say, there was a lot of like photo opportunities at Celebration, and that was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I definitely got a selfie with it, but this picture looks better without me in it. Just saying. So, yeah. Here it is. Here it is. I know you. Now, I haven't got it digitally done yet, but I will be getting this put into digital. So that will be a profile picture at some point in the future. That is probably going to go right there, I think. Like, so that's the plan, because it's Hayden.
Yeah.
I was very nervous meeting him. Like I was telling Chloe, even though this was on the Sunday, I was telling Chloe at the time, I was like, yeah, I'm a bit nervous about this. I'm quite nervous. Like, what do I do? What do I say? But again,
like, you're meeting him.
And then, like, I think one of the things that takes you afterwards was like, I touched Anakin.
Yeah. He's real.
He's real. He's genuinely real. So yeah, so that obviously to me was like, that was special. Just seeing him, just like, oh, okay.
Cool. I'm very jealous. I want to meet him.
I'm sure one day you will.
He's right here. My wall.
So he's there for you. He's going to be there for me. So yeah, here we have me and Ewan. Obviously, looks a little bit weird. Like, why are you standing so far away from him? But obviously, due to him still filming something at the minute, you couldn't get close. But I have seen people like having their photo with him, and they have done like the heart thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, and yeah, a bit like, I don't know, but yeah, just really nice meeting him. And the fact as well that, like, when I went over to see him, he was like, hello there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, that's he said it.
Like, I heard Ewan McGregor say hello there.
He said hello there to me. It's like, what did you say? Do you do the General Kenobi or what?
And I love the R2 is so cool. It's so
And
cute.
it looks
even though technically should be R4.
It should be. Good point out. He never owned this droid. He's never owned a droid.
Yeah, but it's still very cute.
Yeah. So that's what. And again, I saw him put his hand on R2. I was like, do I put my hand on R2 as well? Like, lean over a bit. I was like, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to be there. But I'm still happy with it.
Yeah.
My mum absolutely loves this photo, by the way. She's a big Ewan fan, so she's very happy with that. Now, I'm going to show off this one again because this is the badge that I got signed. I know I mentioned her like last episode, and names like Alice X Chang, and she done the badge art, and she got this sign. And she was my troop of the week last week because she, in fairness to her, done all these sign-ins of badges and postcards for free, and it was just she done it because she wanted to, because she was just so appreciative. And yeah, I think it's great. Personally, I'm a fan of this one. So yeah, that is my celebration pics. I will show off more. I promise. I will post more on the Instagram and Twitter. I promise. I promise. So there we go.
Should I show some photos? So yeah,
Yes.
obviously this is me in my Padme costume in the hotel. It was very busy there. So this was the Saturday. So many people. And then this was the queue. So many people.
There's a lot of people
in that room. We were standing so long I was sat down. And this is my hair. What else? So yeah, then we finally got in, went to the place where they had the ATST and they had like full-size Tauntaun there as well, which was pretty cool. So I took a picture of that. Then they had Leia's dress from the movie.
That was pretty cool. Can you remember how much it's valued at?
I'll try and zoom in.
I know, I remember. So I'm testing you. I'm seeing if you know. Okay, usually. 1 to 2 million.
Yep. So it says Princess Leia's Carrie Fisher ceremonial dress costume from Star Wars: A New Hope, 1977. 1 to 2 million.
Anyone got a spare couple of million?
Yeah, it's easily affordable. And then they had lots of screen use props. So a lot of it was from Return of the Jedi, but so they had like lots of C-3PO bits. But what I liked the most was all the sabers at the top. So they had like the Phantom Menace sabers. So they had Darth Maul's, Qui-Gon's, and Obi-Wan Kenobi's, and they were all like screen used ones from the film. And you could see like all the little details and everything. It was so cool. So it wasn't Return of the Jedi related, but that was just really cool. They had them there, and lots of C-3PO bits. They even had like one of C-3PO's helmets, but I didn't get a picture. And also we got to see Anthony Daniels because he was stood there talking to someone. But yeah, didn't get to meet him, but we saw him.
Yeah, we did see him. He was there.
And then we walked past the like, I guess the autograph bit. And we seen quite a few people, and there was Tala from Kenobi. She was there. So that was quite cool to see. Then we went to the celebration stage, and that's when we saw Kathleen Kennedy. And then John Dave. So they were there, but like we were looking at the screen, and it's like
you're just there.
Yeah.
You've seen the hat in
How
person.
Are they actually there? Yeah. So yeah, that was surreal. And then we got some food, and then I thought I need to get some pictures with some cosplayers. So I saw like a stormtrooper that was standing near the stage, and I was like, I saw my opportunity, and I said, "Can I get a picture?" So this was a stormtrooper. I'm
There
pretty
were
sure
so
he was
many there. I don't
targeted
know.
first.
You don't.
There was loads, but I was like, I need to get a picture with at least one. So yeah, and then later on, I saw more, and they arrested me.
I think those guys were like the proper 501st ones. I think.
Yeah, so those were 501st. And then yeah, there's so many more cosplayers. Also, I just wanted to say, so like when we went in there, there's like all this artwork on the like that you have on the badges, but it was all on the ceiling, and they looked really cool. Then yeah, there's so many different cosplayers. So there was like this Django Fett. I'll show you a picture. So this is Django. He looked so cool. Like I was sat on a bench because there's not really many places to sit in there, and our feet were just killing. So sat on a bench, and then like people were just walking past constantly, just going to different places. And this Django Fett cosplayer walked past, and I said, "That's a really nice Django Fett." And then he like pulled out his gun and like sort of twirled it in his hand and pointed it at me. And then I got up and I was like, "Can I get a picture? Your cosplay is so cool." So this was Attack of the Clones squad. So yeah, he was cool. There was lots of Mandalorians. So there was these
There was
two.
certainly a lot of Mandalorians. I wouldn't know.
If anyone knows like the names of these people on Instagram and stuff, like let me know because I have no clue. But yeah, these two looked pretty cool, and this one gave me his Grogu. So I held a Grogu.
But you had to give it back. Though.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I wouldn't steal his Grogu. There was these people. I think they're called like King Cosplay. But yeah, they looked really cool. I really liked that Din. He had really good armor. And they were so friendly, and they gave me a card so I knew who they were on Instagram. I seen Bibba and Fennec. So they were pretty cool. What else did I see? I seen a clone trooper. Which I'm thinking this might be one of Mace's clones. I'm not sure.
That's 187th trooper.
But yeah, he was cool, and I really liked this set as well. It was like you're on the Imperial
Rebel.
ship.
No, I think it was
The
Rebel
ship. Sorry.
Tantive 4.
Episode 4, yes. Oh, he said Daniel said he knows that purple trooper. But yeah, he was cool.
I think he was at the like clone meet that I've been seeing everyone do it.
And then I saw this lady, and she just had a really cool cosplay of the lady from Mando. I don't know if you can see that properly. There you go. And I touched the Grogu. I touched his little head, and he was cute. So yeah, she had really cool cosplay. There's me with that same Revan that you've seen.
He was a good Revan.
Very cool. Another Din and Bo-Katan. Me and Mama Bo. Oh, I met the Naboo senator who also cosplays as Padme. So I had to get a picture with her. She was cool.
2 Padmes.
Give me a sticker. Who else did I see? Oh, I seen a Captain Rex. So he was really cool. I don't know his name, but he's probably like the best Captain Rex cosplay I've seen. But yeah, he was really cool.
I bet Daniel knows him as well.
Probably. If you know, then let me know. And then there was someone cosplaying as Cal Kestis. And his one like moved and everything, and it had lights on.
I did notice that.
It was so cool, and I was like, I need that. I need one of those beady ones. And then, so this is gonna be my trooper of the week. I met Darth Vader himself. So this is one of my friends on Instagram. He cosplays as Darth Vader, from Revenge of the Sith. He's part of the 501st Legion, but he's like the what do you call it? The example for Revenge of the Sith Vader for the 501st. So yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, as soon as I saw him, he goes, I recognize this one, and he has like the voice and everything, and the breathing, and then he was just like, you should have never sided with Kenobi, and then walked away, and it was so cool. And then him and his wife came to see me after to show me the sabers, and yeah, he's very tall. So in Vader, he's 6'10".
Wow.
So
That's very true.
That's why I'm like so short compared to him. But yeah. And then we've seen Han Solo. So that was very cool. Because I've never seen like a life-size one before. I've seen like little figures and stuff, but to actually see like a massive one. And there was also this cool, really photo opportunity where he looked like a figure.
You look
Obviously,
about the
I'm not
right
Luke.
height for a figure.
If they had a Padme one from Geonosis, I'd fit right in. But yeah, that was very cool as well. And there was a lot of like droids around. So the star of this episode, Mandalorian, R5 was there.
Yeah.
The one with the bad motivator. And then I met a R2, so that was pretty cool. Let's see if it's got sound. And we had all the noises and everything. That was cool. So yeah, there were so many droids going around, with people with like remote controls and stuff. So that was really cool to see.
Yeah, the droid builders there were very good.
Yeah,
very good.
I really like those. I feel like I would definitely have like a life-size R2. It's so cool.
Definitely. Right, so I feel like we're going to have to talk about our troopers of the week because
yes. Well, I've kind of already talked about, but yeah, I will.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about your trooper?
Okay. So, Vader.
Yeah.
So, he's called the Captain Vader on Instagram. And he also cosplays as Captain America as well. And he does cosplay with his wife, so she cosplays Peggy Carter, Captain Carter, and Mara Jade. She was at Celebration. But yeah, they're just really cool people. Really nice to talk to. Even their little kids like dress up as well, so that's really cool. But yeah, he made Celebration really like cool for me because obviously I got to see him as Vader, and he was actually because he'd been stood up for hours in costume. He was going away to de-troop and sit down, and I was glad I caught him as he was walking off, because otherwise I wouldn't have got to see his costume. But yeah, the fact that he came out afterwards and was like, oh, I want to show you my sabers and, you know, actually meet you, because he never breaks character as Vader. He'll just be there like, oh, Padme, what are you doing here? Or whatever. But yeah, he's a really cool person. So he's my trooper of the week.
Very cool.
So the Captain Vader.
So yeah, so I'm gonna have to go for. I know he's been commenting, but I got to go for Vaughan UK. Well, Daniel. Yeah, no, I'm making him my trooper of the week because he's the newest. I'd say, well, say today we welcomed him to the podcast group, friend of the podcast. I thought his Vaughan cosplay awesome. Seen him at like the clone meet and that with Emily, obviously. Yeah, just very cool. Just a nice guy as well. And the fact, even commented on the video earlier saying 501st is the best. Well, I cannot argue or fault him there. So, Vaughan UK, you are my troop of the week, or Daniel, as you know. But yeah. So that is it from us, guys. I know it's been a bit of a long one, but I hope you've enjoyed it. We will see you next week. I don't know who I've got with me next week. I might have Chloe. I might have someone else. Who knows? But I will keep you updated and keep listening. And yeah, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you. This is the way.
This is the way.
Nice meeting you.